This is one of the most frequently regurgitated narratives about basketball in the 1960s, and now that I've heard the most famous analyst in all of basketball make this claim as well, I knew I had to make this video. To understand what I'm talking about, go ahead and take a listen.
First off, we got to hear Shaq now do this. Shaq is what, the 5th best center in the history of the NBA?
What?
Fifth.
What?
Shaq. What do you mean, what?
Who's the 4 ahead of Shaquille O'Neal? Have
like
you
me to
lost
name,
your
you want me
damn
to
mind?
name him for you?
What?
You want me to name
Sure,
him?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Kareem.
Okay.
Wilt.
No.
I'm not giving it to Wilt.
No, you guys are crazy.
You're not giving it to Wilt.
No.
You're not going to put Wilt Chamberlain, who averaged 50 points a game and scored 100 a game in 30 minutes.
Who was a foot taller than 99% of the league?
Who's a foot taller than 99% of the league?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now this clip went viral for a variety of reasons. And just so you know, I will be tackling Mad Dog's take on Shaquille O'Neal. But this video isn't about him. This is about Wilt Chamberlain. Stephen A. Smith responded to Mad Dog's Wilt Chamberlain ranking with my biggest pet peeve in all of basketball, as he stated that Wilt was, quote, a foot taller than 99% of the league. Let me be clear, this is objectively false, and the data can easily be found online. So honestly, it's kind of crazy for someone as old as Stephen A., who claims to love basketball as much as he does, to say something so blatantly ignorant about Wilt Chamberlain. In the 1961-62 NBA season, Wilt Chamberlain famously averaged 50 points and 26 rebounds per game. That feat sounds so insane and outlandish compared to anything else we've ever known, so people have tried to make sense of it for years, so they can at least comprehend it. But unfortunately, that's often resulted in people telling lies, and those lies get perpetuated, and eventually it's become the popular belief. The average height of the NBA player in 1962 was 6 foot 5 inches tall, and last year in the modern NBA, the average height was 6 foot 6 inches tall. The difference was literally just 1 inch. In '62, Wilt played against Walter Dukes of the Detroit Pistons at the center position, who was 7 feet tall and was a 2-time NBA All-Star, and they played against each other 10 times that regular season. Swady Halbrook of the Syracuse Nationals was 7 foot 3 inches tall, which was literally 2 inches taller than Wilt, and Chamberlain played against him 10 times that year. Bill Russell was 6 foot 10 inches tall and was arguably the greatest defensive player in NBA history, and Wilt also played against him 10 times that year. Walt Bellamy of the Chicago Packers was 6 foot 11 inches tall, and that year he averaged 32 points and 19 rebounds. And again, Wilt had to play against him 10 times that regular season. Ray Felix of the Los Angeles Lakers was another former NBA All-Star, and he was 6 foot 11 inches tall, and Wilt played against him 10 times. The New York Knicks had a twin tower tandem of Darrell Imhoff and Phil Jordan, who were each 6 foot 10 inches tall, and Wilt Chamberlain had to play against them 12 times that season. And in those contests, he averaged a whopping 54.5 points per game. I just accounted for 62 of the 80 games that Wilt played that season. The only team in the league who didn't have a player over 6'9" was the St. Louis Hawks, who had 3 rotating 6'9" players to defend Wilt, which were Clyde Lovellette, Larry Faust, and Bob Pettit. To a certain extent, Wilt did take advantage of those smaller matchups, as he averaged 54.2 points in those 9 contests. But here's the thing, he still averaged 49.9 points per game in those 71 games against everyone else. It's also funny to me how people act like this is such an unheard of thing in the modern NBA. For goodness sake, Bam Adebayo starts at center for the Miami Heat, and he's just 6'9". Kevon Looney starts as center for the Golden State Warriors, and he's 6'9" as well. In the case of Bam, he's one of the best defensive players in the entire league at the position, as he's earned 4 All-Defense Team selections, regardless of the fact that he's one of the much shorter centers. According to Basketball Reference, there are 17 active players in the NBA today who are 6'9" or shorter, and who play primarily at the center position. As you can see, size isn't everything when it comes to quality basketball. So to then obsessively focus on it as a way to criticize Wilt Chamberlain is simply a casual way of thinking. If you asked Wilt, I'm sure that he would rather play against 7-footers like Walter Dukes and Halbrook rather than play against the much shorter Bill Russell. Now before some of you get triggered in the comments, you need to understand the purpose of this video. If you want to talk about how offense and rebounding were inflated in Wilt's era, then we can have that conversation and I'm willing to listen. If you want to talk about the general difference in athleticism between the modern players and the players of the 60s, then I'm willing to have that conversation. If you want to talk about how the game is more global now, which enriches the talent pool of the NBA, then I'm willing to have that talk. But what I'm not willing to accept is people claiming that Wilt took advantage of defenders a foot shorter than him, because that is simply a lie. And it reveals that the person making the argument is either doing it in bad faith, or they're just extremely ignorant about basketball history. Again, it's a short and sweet video, but it has to be said, as too many young fans still believe that Wilt took advantage of 6'4" centers, which simply isn't the case. So go ahead and share this video, so hopefully the basketball community can start to have more genuine discussions about the 1960s. So what do you guys think? Where do Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell rank among the greatest centers of all time? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.